Eighth graders, this is to help you with question 1 on CR 24. It says to find the solution. So I have 3x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 2 is equal to -1. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute through these parentheses, and that will clear out the parentheses for me. So I still have my 3x, I still have my addition. 2 times x is 2x, I still have my plus sign. 2 times 2 is 4. I still have my equals, I still have my -1. So now I look at the left-hand side of my equal sign. I actually have like terms. So I'm going to combine like terms. You might make your X's and O's chart. So when you're doing your X's and O's chart to combine like terms, you have to stay on one side of the equal sign. So I have a 3x plus 2x. The only number or constant on that side of the equal sign is just a positive 4. That's it. Don't do anything with this -1 that's on the other side of the equal sign. So 3x plus 2x is 5x plus 4. So when we simplify this side, I have 5x plus 4. I still have my equal sign, I still have my -1. You cannot try to combine the 4 and the -1 when you're combining like terms because they're on opposite sides of that equal sign. You gotta get them all moved over to one side before you can combine them. So now it's just a two-step equation. So what's the first thing I do? I look on the side that involves the variable, and I first move all constants to the right. So how do I undo this plus 4? If I want to get rid of that plus 4, I have to subtract 4 on the left-hand side of the equal sign. If I'm subtracting 4 on the left side of the equal sign, I must subtract 4 on the right-hand side of that equal sign. 4 minus 4 zeroes out. Bye-bye. We have 5x. Drag down that equal sign. -1 minus 4. -1 minus 4 signs are the same. I'll find the sum. I'll keep the sign. That gets me to a -5. At that point, I need to get x by itself. The operation between the 5 and the x is multiplication. I undo multiplication with division. In middle school, we use our fraction bar for division. So to get a coefficient of 1 on x, I must divide the left side by 5. If I'm dividing the left side of the equal sign by 5, I must divide the right-hand side of the equal sign by 5. 5 divided by 5, fancy form of 1x, I can just write as x, equals a negative divided by a positive is a negative, 5 divided by 5 is 1. My answer is x equals -1, and I can show a check for that. You could have guessed and checked with this problem because it's a multiple choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug -1 anywhere I see an x. So this becomes 3 times -1 plus 2, within parentheses, -1 plus 2 equals, and I keep my -1 here. Going to simplify this left-hand side following my order of operations within parentheses. -1 plus 2 is a positive 1. So I have 3 times -1 plus 2. That's times 1. I'm hoping when I simplify that, I come up to -1. 3 times -1 is -3, plus 2 times 1 is 2. I'm hoping when I combine those, I come up with a -1. -3 plus 2, signs are different. I'll find the difference. The difference between 3 and 2 is 1. What do I have more of? I have more negatives. So -3 plus 2 is a -1, and this checks. That just tells us x equals -1 was the correct answer. I hope that helped.